Hi, everybody. Mr. Flugum here. As you can see, I'm in my classroom this time. They let me in to make some demo videos and stuff. And so I'm going to demo some stuff for you guys, some real chemistry. So we're going to make a solution. And if we were in class, I would have you do this. So hope that being in my classroom brings back some good memories. Maybe you can visualize where you sat and stuff. But yeah. Yeah, so we're going to do this today. We're going to make a 0.2 molar solution of copper sulfate. And we're going to make 100 milliliters of that. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is find the number of grams of solute. Okay, so if you're like, well, Flugum, how do I do that? Well, here's what you do, you guys, to find the grams of solute. First of all, we've got this, right? Remember, molarity is moles over liters, right? Okay, so if I rearrange that, I get moles is equal to molarity times liters. So I plug that in. There's our molarity, there's our liters, 0.1. If you're like, where'd you get the 0.1 from, Flugum? Remember, it's 100 milliliters that we want, right? So if I move the decimal 3 places, that gives us 0.1 liters. Okay, if I do that math there, I get 0.02 moles. So that's how many moles we're going to have. Okay, now what I could do with that is this. I need 0.02 moles, right? And so I'm going to say, okay, how many grams is that? So 1 mole of CuSO4, okay, is 159.608 grams. Okay, remember that, you guys? Okay, sorry if this is getting a little small, but, so if I do the math there, I get 3.19 grams. So that's how many grams of solute I need in order to make this solution. Okay, so next thing is this. Now that we know how many grams we have, we're going to do this. We're going to measure out the solute, okay? And then we're going to dissolve it in a small amount of solvent, okay? So we'll measure it out and we'll dissolve it. Now, the reason we want to do it in a small amount of solvent is this, you guys. By the way, we're going to use this friendly neighbor right here. This is called a volumetric flask. So this is a volumetric flask for 100 milliliters. You can see the line right there. That's 100 milliliters. So this is designed only to measure accurately 100 milliliters. Okay. If you're making a solution, you can also use a graduated cylinder, which is a bit more flexible. But these are easy and nice to mix stuff in. So I use them a lot. Okay. So one thing we want to do is this. If you notice, it says dissolve in a small amount of solvent. So I don't want to start with 100 milliliters and then add in my stuff. So I have this flask measured out to exactly 100. And then if I put in my solute, okay, if you notice now, you guys, there's the line, right? And there's where my solvent is. I no longer have 100 milliliters, right? Okay, and that's a bit of a problem. That's why we don't put the exact amount of the exact volume that we want right away. So I start with this, take my flask and put a small amount of water in, maybe about half the volume. Okay, and then I'll do this. I'll take out my measured 3.19 grams and we'll put it in. Okay. We'll kind of mix it around a little bit. Sometimes the stuff gets stuck on the sides and stuff. And we'll dissolve it. So here I have my dissolved solute. And if you notice, I dissolved it in a lot less than 100 milliliters. And that's because I want to make sure I have exactly 100 milliliters so I get my exactly 0.2 molar concentration. So then the last thing is this. Once we've dissolved it, we're going to fill it to the desired volume. So all I'm going to do is take a little bit of water here and as best I can fill it up to this 100 milliliter mark on here. This can be tricky because once you hit the neck of this thing, it fills up really fast. And I went a little bit over, you guys. Well, that's the way it goes. It won't be too far off from my 0.2 molar. Okay, so That's how you make a molar solution, you guys. You find the grams of solute, you measure it out and dissolve it in a small amount of water, and then you fill it to the desired volume. So what I want you to do is this, you guys. I'm going to give you a problem on an assignment, and you're going to tell me, you're going to do the calculation and tell me how you would make this and make that solution. All right, you guys, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you have a great day.